Hello YouTube and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States in that wonderful little town of Belfair, Washington, or Hickville, USA as I love to call it. So welcome to my channel everybody. So this is my mail call for November 19th, 2025 everybody. So guys, I'm going to apologize firsthand. I found a couple of cards I was trying to clean up. I stopped immediately when I found these cards because I wanted to immediately do a mail call because they got underneath some Christmas stuff that my daughter had brought out to my stamp room. And I'm not going to blame it on her. It was just set up by some stuff I have piled up on my tote, some stuff that I had stepped back there that I had intended to do things. And she had simply just piled up her Christmas stuff in her bags there and dropped them off in my stamp room. That's how it goes at this time of the year. So with that being said, ta-da, I had another Veterans Day card from Sue. Yes, so let me set these aside. So Sue, thank you very, very much. Very cool pattern. Thank you so much. Oh, Susan, I should say. So, and then she gave me this wonderful sticker. Now I'm going to tell you, I know exactly what Hank's going to have this. Hank is going to put this on his water bottle. At this middle school, there's a person from the Army Reserve comes up there and they drop off boxes of water bottles. Hank really likes these water bottles, and we have 4 now. We have 4. 2 of one design and 2 of the others. There was a one that had a brown with orange lid that flipped up, and the other one was white. And the office people tell me, Hank really likes these water bottles. I said, I know. I know. I said, trust me, we have them. But the big thing right now they're doing at school, or the big thing Hank is doing, is the kids get these stickers and they stick stickers all over their water bottles. So this is going to go on the Army water bottle. I have hands down no problem. Right now Hank is home sick from school. So yeah, nurse called me up. Hank is feeling quite nauseous. He says his stomach hurts and is wondering, I think you should come pick him up. He looks really kind of awful right now. I'm like, okay, I'll come pick him up, right? I thought he was like maybe trying to get out of a test. You know how kids can be, and he's 12. So I'm thinking, there's no way, because he wasn't acting sick this morning. So I look at him, and he did look like he wasn't feeling well, but he could still be acting, right? So I said, Hank, I got to stop at the library for a minute. You know, I just have to stop at the library. So I stopped at the library, and he says, can I stay in the car? And I said, no, you need to come in. I don't want you waiting in the car. And we're in the library, and it's only taken me, 5-10 minutes to do what I'm doing. And he says, Mondi, I got to go to the bathroom. And I said, okay. And so I'm waiting out there, in the entranceway for him. He comes out, and he looks worse. He says, Mondi, I just puked. I don't feel good. And I said, Hank, okay, you're definitely not pretending. He's like, I told you I don't feel good. And I said, no, baby. I said, I'll take you home now. He says, thank you. And right now he's snoring. But yeah, he's definitely not pretending to be sick. So then there's more. So then I got this great turkey card from Terry. And Terry, wait till you see what else I found. So Terry sent me this great Thanksgiving card. Absolutely love it. You got to see the inside. Such a cool die. It says Happy Thanksgiving. You don't got to bother to stamp it. You can die cut it. Awesome, right? But along with Terry's, look what was back there. Yeah. This came back to me, Terry. So this is going back to you because I didn't get a stamp on it. I was laughing when I found that. I was like, are you kidding me? I do remember that coming back and me saying, because my hubby had brought it to me. He's like, this is missing something. And then Deb sent me a box of goodies, but not just me. Wait till you see this gorgeous card. Something for my Aunt Carol too. So this is going to my Aunt Carol. Well, it's staying here because she's going to be here on Sunday. Let me share with you this beautiful card, right? So this Beautiful fun fold. She tells me who makes it. So look at this. It opens like this. This is a great use of this Scenic DSP. Beautiful use of this paper. Opens like this. Then she tells me where this design is from. Really unique. Gosh, thank you so much. Because, okay, when you're looking at this, it looks like this is going to open up, you know, it is a little, you can think, okay, it opens this way. No. But what it is this white behind it is the perfect thing for it, right? Because you lift it up, open it up, and this is a full regular card base. That little strip here, oh, just leads to the whole thing. Simple, simply done, but beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love it. So then she writes me a note. Let me get it open. I tell you what, the nails are a hindrance. It's by Lisa Freeman, and it was a very nice, easy fun fold, and it is. And thank you, Deb. I hope you and your family have a lovely Thanksgiving as well. I love your letterhead, by the way, hun. I've got to make one of these here. So that is staying on my desk. So let's look at the goodies, right? I've already had a peek. By the way, she sent me a peppermint patty, and Hank saw that last night, and he asked if he could have it at his lunch, and it's still in his lunch. Alice's tea room. Look at this. So, you know, I will tell you, I am not one to buy myself Alice in Wonderland stuff a whole lot, but I absolutely love it. I love it. Oh. So yes, now I get to make myself something else for my room. Oh, and more. We have to open, right? The nails are such a hindrance. They really are. I'm just not, you know, they're only a hindrance for me because I'm not, you open me. That's what it should have said right on the front. Open me. Oh, so cute. Love the hat. I would love to watch Alice in Wonderland about right now, but I have things to do. Guys, I have spent the morning, this is no lie. I wonder if I even got all my comments done. My feet hit the floor and I was charging up on my feet today, which is not what I should be doing, but I just was get up and go, and I didn't stop. The bedding got changed, everything got washed. I cleaned out underneath Hank's bed. I went through things in his room. I've just been cleaning nonstop. I'm on my 5th load of laundry. I have 2 more to go, washing blankets and linens and you name it, and I'm washing it. Wash, wash, wash. Cleaning floors. Love that. Love it. The key, the bottle. Drink me. Oh my gosh. I need to make myself a bookmark. Just do. Love it. Oh, the high tea party. Oh my gosh, too cute. Oh yeah, I need to make me an Alice in Wonderland bookmark. So let me put these back in that one. These are so fun. So fun. Just too cool. Too cool. Too fun. Oops. I feel like I need to laminate them. Poor little Hank. He is just snoring his heart away. He really is. And look at these. Just so adorable. Those would be cute little trinkets to put like a little string through the butterfly and have that on the bookmark. Right? Oh, and I have to share with you, I'm going to make my daughter an ornament out of a perfume bottle. Her favorite perfume, by the way, is, what is this called? I think this is Daisy. Yes, Daisy Wild Marc Jacobs. I think it's regular, the Daisy one. But anyway, she had this mini bottle. And she asked me the other day, she's like, Mom, can you do anything with this little bottle? And of course, it's Christmas time. What's going to come to my mind? And I said, well, honey, I said, it's too small to put little lights in it. I said, but I said, I can make you an ornament out of that thing. She's like, you can? I said, I sure can. I said, baby, I said, I will make you an ornament. It's going to be real simple, but I'll make you an ornament out of that. She's like, how? I said, I'm going to take some, oh, I probably need gold. I had pulled this out. I am just going to tie some silver I'm going to do gold now because this is gold. I'm going to tie some cord around it, glue this down, right? Glue that completely down, tie that cord around it, gold, because I have gold like this from Stampin' Up from years and years ago. Like they just, now they don't give you a big thing of it like this. I mean, this used to be like $5 to $7. Now they give you a tiny little thing. And I'm going to make her an ornament for the Christmas tree, and then she'll always have her favorite perfume. It still smells. Of course it does. I do not like this. She does. Her favorite is Daisy. But anyways, I'm making her ornament today. I'm going to get that done. All of the pine cones are done. Hank made just one with blue glitter. That child. So I have this chunky, this is it. So this glitter, right? So we're making these pine cones for the Christmas tree. And I have this chunky glitter. And I'm like making this glitter on my pine cones and shaking this stuff, and we're making a mess. And he says, Manji, stop. And I said, what? He's like, you're making the pine cones look like disco balls. And I said, cool, baby, cool. He said, no. Pine cones need to have white glitter on them, not silver. They're not meant to be disco balls. I said, well, Hank, our Christmas tree is going to have silver chunky glitter with, it's going to sparkle, and it's going to look like a little disco ball on the Christmas tree. He's like, no, you need to stop. And I said, well, I've already started, Hank. I said, and I want a disco ball pine cone for the Christmas tree. He's like, fine, you can have one. I said, well, that's not going to work for me, Hank. I said, I think there should be one pine cone, disco ball pine cone for everybody in the family. And he says, oh. And I said, what? He's like, fine, but only one per person. I said, great. I said, because all of mine are going to be disco ball pine cones. And I did. I made 4 pine cones with disco balls. And then when I started going for number 5, he's like, he's watching me do these. I mean, I've got a mound of pine cones, and I do. I had a basket full of pine cones. He's like, what are you doing? I said, well, Aunt Carol needs a disco ball pine cone for her Christmas tree. He's like, ah. I thought, payback. Look at how sweet that is, the little kitty cat right there. I just thought that was such a good payback for him. Now that would be good on any card at any time. Oh, yes. This way, wrong way, tea party. Bookmark. Love it. Love the Alice in the Key. I love the White Rabbit. I go down the rabbit hole all the time. I go down it. Today it was a cleaning. I got trapped in the cleaning hole, and I went way down. I mean, yes. I didn't go down a door. I went down the hole rabbit hole. I went way down today. These are beautiful. These would make such great. I see bookmarks in my future with these, Deb. I just see beautiful, this especially beautiful. These colors are gorgeous. They remind me of how Johnny Depp just brought the Mad Hatter to life in Alice in Wonderland. He really did. He just brought him, he gave him such character that I don't think he really had in the book. Just loved his portrayal of the Mad Hatter. Just loved him. Now these, you're going to see doilies in the new catalog. No, they're online. I think they're online. I don't know if they're in the catalog or if they're an online order. Anyways, new doilies. These are paper die cuts. These are gorgeous. I want to say Stampin' Up! Eat your heart out right now, because these are nothing like theirs. Honest to goodness, these are beautiful. Oh, these are lovely. Thank you so much, because these are so beautiful. Oh, these are lovely. And I love that they're paper. I love that these are paper. So, thank you. Those are just lovely. Um, I will tell you, I saw being, demonstrator hobbyist, it has its perks. Um, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, honey. These are beautiful. I am going to have to die cut that. This is so cool. Um, I got to see the new January to April mini catalog. With that being said, I can't say that I'm overly impressed. I like a few things. I'm not going to rant and rave about it. I'm going to always give you my honest opinion. This is so very retro. It says retro vintage materials. These are stunning. Okay, they have a new little bunny set for Easter. It is nothing like last year's little bunny. It is nothing. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at this fox. Oh my gosh. Oh. Somebody tell me what this bird is. I mean, it looks like some type of a woodpecker. Look at the bunnies and the purple and the fox. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous colors. I'm going to have to go look this company up. This is stunning. Just, unbelievable. I can see. These are almost so gorgeous you don't want to use them, I'm going to have to do some artwork for my stamp room. I might have to, make some more room on the walls. I'm looking right now thinking, where can I put things? Oh, guys, I've got to tell you. So my daughter doesn't watch my YouTube channel because she just doesn't have time. But I've got to tell you. So when she left and ran away from home when she was 18, she had graduated high school. And I always say she ran away from home because she went to Texas. She said it was the best growing up experience she has ever had in her life. So that is a bonus. I felt she was running away from everything. When she was gone and she was away, I said, what do you want me to do with all your stuff? You're not, I'm not coming home. I'm not coming back, blah, 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 blah. You know how kids are. They think they know it all. And I said, well, you have all these Beanie Babies. And she had a ton of Beanie Babies, tons of Beanie Babies. Because it was the thing back then. She's like, well, I just want this one, this one, this. She only kept 5 out of a huge thing of them. She's like, what do you want? I said, what do you want me to do? She's like, oh, just don't them. Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Well, she's been regretting that for quite a while now. And so this past 6 months with my Aunt Carol, whenever I go to a thrift store, I look for Beanie Babies. Now, I refuse to pay $5-6 for a Beanie Baby that I've already purchased at that cost years ago. So there are stores that they have a standard price for stuffed animals at thrift stores. And so when I find Beanie Babies, I didn't care if they were ones that she had. Some of them are ones that she's had, and some of them are ones that she didn't. So I will pick up, I picked up Beanie Babies for 6 months. I have picked up Beanie Babies. I am not exaggerating when I tell you that I know that I have probably 2 dozen Beanie Babies, if not more Beanie Babies than 2 dozen. And I put some in, those Stampin' Up! Big square boxes. I have one that I just dumped all the Beanie Babies in. No gift wrap, no paper in it. Just dumped them all in there. Wrap that up. Yeah. Some have tags, some don't have tags. I know what are Beanie Babies. I know what are not. And then I have another box. I have 3 paper pumpkin boxes, and those have like 3 sets of Beanie Baby bears in them. I have a couple other boxes that have Beanie Babies in them. The other day I came home with a pink Beanie Baby bear, a Beanie Baby snake that had its tag still on it, and a Beanie Baby iguana that still had its tag on it. And I gave her the snake, and I know she didn't have it, but my son did at one time. I'm not giving it to him. He doesn't want snakes. Anyways, I'm telling you this because the night before, she was sitting there and she was sitting on the sofa and she was looking at eBay, and I said, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Mom, I miss my Beanie Babies." I said, "So what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I thought I might go up on eBay and see if I could get some of my old Beanie Babies." And I said, "Don't you dare." I said, "That is such a bad idea right now." I said, "You need money for Hank to buy Hank's Christmas presents." I didn't dare tell her. I know that I have some of her old Beanie Babies sitting in the stamp room of mine wrapped up for Christmas. I would just die if she sat there and ordering Beanie Babies on eBay. Feeling sorry for herself that she got rid of all her Beanie Babies. So when I found the snake, I knew that my son had it. I knew that she did not. But I brought it home and I gave it to her, and it had the little plastic cover, like, everybody wanted little plastic covers on the tags and everything. And she was like, "What's this?" And I said, "I found a Beanie Baby at the thrift store when I went with Aunt Carol." I stopped in the thrift store when I went to go get my Aunt Carol a little Christmas tree. And I said, "I went and checked out their little stuffy section. I found you a Beanie Baby." I said, "It's a snake." She's like, "Dustin had the snake." I said, "I know, but it's a Beanie Baby for you." She said, "Oh, thanks, Mom." She's like, "But Dustin had this one." I said, "I know, honey, but it's a Beanie Baby, right?" She's like, "Yeah, it's a Beanie Baby, thank you." Hank comes home, and he's got this thing wrapped around his arm, and I said, "What you doing?" He's like, "Look, my mom gave me a Beanie Baby." I was laughing. I was laughing my heart out. And later on, I saw her, and I said, "So, how's that new Beanie Baby I gave you?" She's like, "Mom," Hank saw that and his eyes lit up and he was like, Mom, is that for me? Is that for me, Mom?" And I said, "Yeah, Hank, go ahead." Because I knew you wouldn't mind Hank having the snake. She's like, "Mom, the snake wasn't my favorite one." And I said, "Yeah, I don't mind." But I had to laugh so hard because come Christmas, that girl is going to be so surprised when she opens box after box after box of Beanie Babies. And I still have one more payday to go out with Aunt Carol, and I'm still checking. I'm still checking for Beanie Babies. So, yes. I am looking for, apparently, I don't remember what it was. There was a little Beanie Baby. She was looking at one particular, and it was it was white bear, and it had red, white, and blue. I'm thinking it had a little flag on it too. That was one she was looking up on eBay. She's like, "Mom, I should just kick myself for getting rid of that little bear." And I was, of all the bears she liked, now she had the halo bear with the wings, and I think I have that bear. I didn't look because she was looking at him too. And she's like, "Oh, I had the halo bear," and I'm almost like 99.9% 9% positive I have the halo bear. But this little red, white, and blue bear, I'm pretty sure I'm keeping an eye out for that. I don't think I have that one. Oh, let me show you. I can show you the pink bear. Hold on. Where is the... Maybe I can't show it to you. Oh, no. I hit it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. It's such a mess in this room. I can show you this. I made this years ago with Stampin' Up! Products, right? This was when this is before my brother died. I had made this for my mom. Did I write on the back of it? No. I had made several of these for family members for Christmas. This is when I used to go to craft classes with my uplines. And then before I ever did... I'm looking for my brother's star. I thought I had it. I used to do toll painting. This is like when I first started, the first time when I first got my scroll saw. I made everybody an ornament for the Christmas tree. I've always done a kind of a rustic look. My kids have stars. I just drew out a rough start. And yes, this is me drawing it. And I did one for my mom, one for my brother JJ. My dad had passed on. I really should do one for him. I'm still looking for the Beanie Baby. Give me a minute. Oh no. Knowing me, I put it some miraculous place trying to keep it where she won't see it. Oh, I see the bag. I need to wrap some more presents. It's getting busy out here. All right. Anyways, those are two things I've made. So, this says Smitten. Now, he doesn't have his tag, but he's pink. That's her favorite color. I think this goes, I have the little large Beanie Baby. I think this was one from McDonald's, but I have the large green one I found. This is Snip, and he doesn't have his tag. So these are all I found, and I found this one, and I don't know what his name is. Let's see the tag. Scaly. So those are all ready to go into a box, probably a paper pumpkin box, hopefully, if I can find one that'll fit stuff in it. Let's see. Nope, that's not empty. Now these, I am not putting tissue in these boxes, guys, for paper pumpkin. Here's an Amazon box. That's a gift for my son's girlfriend. Let's just do this. I'm not putting tissue in these boxes for the Beanie Babies. I just shoved them all in a box. And, yep. I can probably fit one more in there. The snake would have been perfect there. If, there we go. All done. So anyways, when we were, the other day I was helping my Aunt Carol get to her Christmas stuff, and we were going through some things, and I saw these, and I said, oh my gosh, I said, she's like, those were your mom's. I said, I know. And she, of course, says, you know, would you like those? And I said, yes. I said, actually, I really would. So this joy is going to go somewhere in my house. Back in the day, I'm sitting here having a nice little chat with you. So I could only afford back in the day to make 2 of these. I made one for my sister. No, I made 3. I made one for my sister Nora for Christmas. I made one for my sister Barbie and made one for my mom. I couldn't afford to keep one for myself. And that was okay with me. You know, that was okay. My joy was creating them and then giving them away. I had so much done doing that. So they were sent to them. And my Aunt Carol has other things that I have made for her. But this little star now is going to go on my tree every year. And I have my kids' stars. I have my mother at one time, after my brother passed, the one that says JJ, she kept out, and she had given it to me, and I don't think it's with my Christmas stuff. I think it's somewhere else, is what I'm thinking. So anyways, this is going to go inside. This, and I'm setting it behind me. That's how the letters got by me. So let's take a look at all the new paper, which now I got to make a new paper pad, right? Love this. This, I do have the dies. Remember, this is from, I can't remember the name of it, but I have the dies, and my Aunt Carol, yes, has, or is, I am wrong. I'm wrong. Gosh, this was such great paper. I am wrong. That is not the same set I'm thinking of. I was like, I have the dies, and my Aunt Carol has a stamp set, but that's not it. I do remember this. This was I think a celebration set. This was one of the cutest ones. Love this toadstool. Love, love, love it. Oh, there's the little houses. Yes, yes. And there's the fall ones. I think of the fluffy squirrel every time. Every time. So, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the poinsettias. Thank you so much. Beautiful. This was an all season stamp set. And I know some people say, well, why don't you keep catalogs? I can't, I don't have the space to keep the catalogs. This was so beautiful. So beautiful. Front and back. I mean, look at that. And yes, I am partial to purples and greens, both of those. If my hubby would let me, I would paint my house purple in a heartbeat, the inside, the outside, in and out. Yes. At one time, I did have my bedroom purple. My hubby would go to see, paint was cheap back in the day. And I could go to, Sears and stuff, and I could get, a can of paint at a time, like $20, and I could paint my heart out. And when he would leave, he'd always tell me, please don't paint. Please, for the love of God, do not paint. And that's the first thing I would do. That's the first thing it would do. It would keep me occupied the whole patrol. I would be painting. He would come home and the rooms would be different colors. And one time he came home and the whole bedroom was lavender. And he said, all I asked was you not to paint. And I said, honey, you should know by now when you go to see, I'm going to paint something. He's like, can't you just toll paint? And I said, no. I said, I need something bigger to do at night when the kids go to sleep and I miss you. He said, I'm going to keep asking you not to paint. And I said, and I'm going to just nod my head and I'm going to keep painting, And he said, okay. He's like, but I'm going to keep asking. And I said, that's okay, because I'm going to keep painting. And I did. I just kept painting. Patrol after patrol. I would do one room. I wouldn't do the entire house. I would just do one room. And I would do little bits by little bits. I would start here and then I'd move things and start there and move things a little bit. And it would keep me going through, the patrol and $20 gallon of paint. Keep me happy. And that's what I did. It late at night, and it was very late at night. Oh, Easter paper. Gorgeous paper. Everything. Thank you, Deb. I love paper. How is it that something like this can fill you with such ultimate delirium of joy, right? And it does. It really does. And then I'm going to share with you one thing, and then I'm going to get off because I have other things to do. But literally, there is stuff. There is a tiny, tiny little walking path in this stamp room, and I've got to clear. I've got to make room. This is very, very cool. Very, 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 very cool. This is Christmassy to me. That I need to hold. Ooh, so is that, kind of. I need to hold those out. Very Christmassy. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep these aside. Anyways, that is, that's all of that for now. But look at this. So, last year, do you remember me? I got this beautiful ceramic bowl like this. It was probably about 1.5 of this one. It had this beautiful deer on it. And that was my white elephant gift for our game night for Christmas Eve, right? My aunt is the one who took that home. And it sits on her microwave all year round. Anyways, this is a plastic one. And I got it for $2.50. I brought it out here to show you. And I got to tell you, I bought this and I had no idea what on earth I'm going to do. This is one of those compulsive buys. It was only $2.50 at the thrift store, but I couldn't leave the store without it. And my Aunt Carol says, honey, what you going to do with that? I said, I don't know. She's like, are you going to use it? I said, probably not. I said, I thought I could clear a space in my kitchen and let it sit there pretty for Christmas. She's like, okay. She's like, that's not like you. And I said, I know. I said, but, oh, I could probably put potatoes in it and stick it in the top of the potato bin. Maybe that'll do something. So I don't know, but that was a compulsive buy there. So it does happen, right? It does. So thank you all so much. So thank you for letting me talk your ear off here. And now, I don't want to get off because when I get off, I have to clean some more. I got to go check my laundry and start another load too and check on Hank. So with that being said, I'm going to share something else with you because I'm not ready to get off. All right. So what is in this bag? My daughter and I go to Ross here, right? Yes. So we're going to Ross and we're picking up things, and she's putting this in her cart. She puts this in her cart, and she picks up like a couple of these and another one of these. And I said, baby, why do you need so many? She's like, Mom, well, I use all this for my, I go through these all the time. I said, I know. I said, but honey, that's the kind of stuff I pick up for your stocking all the time. She's like, well, these are pink. And I said, okay. So in my head, I'm telling myself, well, when we get up to the counter, I'm just going to take one of each of these, and I'm just going to take those and stick those in my cart. So I know that now I have the same kind that she likes, and I'll put those in my cart and I'll pay for them so that those will be in her stocking. And I did. And she's like, what are you doing? I said, well, now I have the right ones that they're pink, and they'll be in your stocking this year. She's like, whatever, Mom. Does that make you happy? And I said, yes. I said, if you want pink bottles and a pink whatever, I said, if you know, it's all at like $3.99, honey. All $4.99. I said, I got that. I got that. But then you got to see this thing. So this is where my husband says, what are you doing? I said, you just bought our daughter, you know, her extra little Christmas present. So this is her pink. So I was walking around the store, and my daughter, I know right where to find her. She'll be in the blanket section. Yes, that's where my daughter, you're going to find my daughter. You won't, she'll make her way like through the little, you know, little makeup section thing, looking for those wipes and stuff like that. And then she'll head to the blanket section next. So, forgot what, oh, I was looking at the Christmas stuff, and I knew right where to find her. So I go back there, and she's doing this to this blanket. And I said, good Lord, baby, that is the one thing you don't need. She's like, I know, Mom, but look at it. It's pink. It is so pink. And so she walks away, and we go up the aisle. She turns around and come back. She walks by, and she's doing this. She's like, oh, Mom. She's like, it's so pink. I said, baby, I said, would you like that as one of your Christmas presents? I said, this is going to be one of the worst years ever. Besides the Beanie Babies, right? She's not going to have a surprise to save her life. She's like, really, Mom? I said, yeah, really. She's like, yeah, I really would like that pink. I said, okay. I said, give me that blanket. So, yep, that's in here. So, yeah, that poor girl. She's got a thing with pink and blankets, and, oh, she's funny. I asked her, the one thing I asked her is, please do not bring any blankets home from your work. Please, please, because she gets gift cards from work when people write, you know, do these service things that, oh, this person did a great job helping me today at her work, you know, and they'll give the workers, you know, these gift cards that you have to use at the store. And my daughter buys blankets. Remember last year I told you about Hank and the Ariat blanket that I had to sew the trim around it because he pulled the string and he just kept pulling it. Oh, yeah. I said, please, I asked her, please, please, please don't bring home any blankets. No blankets. And here I go, and I buy her a blanket. But anyways, I can't help it. You know, you try to, it wasn't much. I think that thing was like $12.99. It was marked down, and it was the only one in the store. So it was like no big deal. But anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Terry. Terry, your card will go out in the mail tomorrow. I do apologize. I just can't believe I just didn't get a stamp on it. It was probably one in the pile and I just missed it. It happens, I guess. So I got to get off now and clean my room. I don't want to clean my room, but I will. So I will see you all again soon here in my Wonderland. Bye bye for now, everyone.